from the side of the road that you're looking at, and that right now they've cordoned off about a 10 to 15 square yard area. Obviously, if that bush hog, as he described it, that mowing machine ran over this trash bag, you may have some scattering of any remains. Difficult to talk about indeed.
Right.
But obviously, again, you have the county sheriff's units out there. You have the Arkansas State Police as well as the FBI. So local, state, and federal investigators now surrounding what is an active crime scene, and crime scene forensic investigators also on scene.
Yep, and then they'll be able to, figure out, I would imagine, fairly quickly if this is human or animal. Or they can do that pretty quickly. My question until then would be, the litter crew spotted the bag 3 days ago. When was the last time that litter crew was through that area?
Sure.
Could the bag have been there a month? Or was it just there maybe 3 or 4 days? It's impossible to know without knowing the last time they came through looking for trash.
And the other, perhaps you would call it an inconsistency or discrepancy from the original information, is that the trash bag was dumped at exit 30, the first exit off of I-30. In Hope, Arkansas.
So what
and this was 12 miles south to the south of that.
I just want to explain to our people who are joining us on our social media platforms. On the left is the scene in Arkansas. On the right, we were watching that plane take off with Tim Miller with EquiSearch. At last check, we were told that Quanell X was also on the plane, including an investigator from Houston. So it looks like the plane is about to take off, and they should be arriving in about an hour. Is that correct?
A little over an hour is what Tim Miller said. So you're looking at 3:15 to 3:30 thereabouts. Before they touch down. I'm assuming.
Well, no, it's 3 o'clock now.
It's 3 o'clock now, so 4:15.
Thank you. Touching down in Hope, and then obviously you have about another 15-minute drive to the current scene that they're surrounding.
And one of the possible, because you asked a great question, I think, of the sheriff, how do you account for the discrepancy between where Darion Vince supposedly said the bag was and where they've got a hit on something 12 miles away? And if he was only as specific to Quanell X, saying it was the first exit, going toward Hope, the sheriff says the exit at Fulton would still kind of qualify. It's the first exit over the Red River, the first exit in that county on the road to Hope, Arkansas. That could be what he meant.
I think one of the other important things to point out, Reka and Russ, is that, if in fact this turns out to be Maleah Davis, we've covered a lot of these search and recovery missions throughout the years, and oftentimes it'll be in a remote field or buried in some secluded woods or whatnot. This bag, again, it's worthy of pointing out, again, was literally just feet from the side of the road. We're talking 10 to 15 feet. The sheriff was eyeballing it. And again, here's that private plane, Tim Miller, Quanell X, flying from Rosharon, heading northeast towards Arkansas to aid in any way they can. And of course, Darion Vince talking to Quanell, and Quanell earlier saying that he was very specific in terms of location. So there's still some unanswered questions. Obviously, the sheriff was hesitant to make any confirmations.